First off, how cool is this hat I just got? I am obsessed with it, and I know I'm a total Gen Z for wearing a bucket hat, but you know what? It's really soft, and it really embraces my divine feminine archetype, which is bringing me to my second point. Welcome back to the Be the Hero channel. I'm Isabelle, and I help you understand the stars so you can feel more clarity and control over your day. Now, before I dive into this video, hit the link now to book your 1-hour reading with me, where we dive into every and anything about your chart, all on the basis of pursuing more meaning and purpose. If that sounds like something you're interested in, if you're looking to manifest something, book a reading with me now. Now, I wanted to talk today about a thought I've been marinating on for a long time. So this video is going to be a bit unorganized because I still haven't fully organized the thought, clarified the thought, so to say. But I wanted to talk about divine feminine archetype because oftentimes in my readings, I get questions about relationships, which is what is my ideal girl like? What is my ideal guy like? What am I supposed to be in relationships? What do I want in relationships? Just give me relationship advice. And one thing that I really, really love about astrology is how every planet, archetype has a masculine or feminine charge. And specifically when it comes to both relationships and our health, understanding our masculine and feminine energy is really important. So on the women's end, it's really important, while we do have masculine energy, and we all have to embrace our masculine, it's very important that we understand our different ways of embracing feminine energy. And the reason I've been marinating on this is because I've found more and more that I am someone who needs a lot of downtime. I need what you see as the stereotypical feminine energy on Instagram and Pinterest, where it's bubble baths and dressing up, wearing jewelry, all of that very much resonates for me. However, I've met people and other women who don't necessarily resonate with that. That doesn't feel like the most feminine thing for them. That doesn't feel like owning their divine feminine energy. So in this video, I want to talk about the 12 different divine feminine archetypes and tell you how you can discover yours. And it's very simple. It's a very simple concept that I'm turning into a more creative aspect, which is your Venus. In astrology, there is Mars and Venus. Now, if you feel like this is going to be a basic video, keep watching because we're going to break it down further. And I'm sure it's going to give you new insight into your own divine feminine energy. So in astrology, though, there are, to cover the basics, Venus and Mars. And these are the planets of masculine and feminine energy. In the more mundane sense, Mars is our action and Venus is our love language. In a more spiritual sense, Mars is our masculine energy and Venus is our feminine. And if you are a woman, then you do have a need to embrace masculine energy. However, just like yin and yang, we are predominantly feminine energy. Now, this doesn't mean that you are supposed to take bubble baths all the time and you're not supposed to pursue goals. It depends on your feminine archetype. And yes, there are other aspects in our chart as well. But when it comes to finding ways that feel like we're embracing our divine feminine, looking to our Venus will be very insightful. And there are 12 different ways that this can show up in your life. There's 12 different areas of life where you feel that you could embrace your feminine energy. And there's 12 different ways, 12 different archetypes, 12 different feminine archetypes, divine feminine archetypes, so to say. So in a minute, I'm going to break each of those down and go through them. But there's one more note I wanted to add about the idea of Venus and Mars energy and divine feminine and masculine. In the end, feminine energy is not about looking beautiful or embracing feminine qualities that we stereotypically say of wearing girly clothes and all that. Feminine energy is receptive energy. It is non-linear and creative. As I said, yin and yang. Yang is the sunny side of the mountain. And I just had to make sure I did that right. I was thinking, yeah. And yin energy is the shadowed side. It represents stillness. It represents the non-linear, creative, intuitive receptive energy. Feminine energy is open to being susceptible to the outside world, and it moves it like water in order to channel it into more energy. Masculine energy, on the other hand, is, instead of being receptive, it's more objective. And it is more so about control and groundedness and intellect. Whereas feminine energy, simply put, flows. Masculine stays still. In the simplest way I feel to put this, the difference between feminine and masculine energy is like the earth. It can shake, it's grounded and stable overall. Feminine energy is like water, where it's always in motion. It does best when it's in motion. It's constantly recreating themselves. And so while your feminine energy, your divine feminine archetype, can be a lot about the jewels, the rest, all of that, eating girl dinner, it can also be more so about leadership or strength or wisdom. And that depends on your feminine archetype. So as I'm saying these feminine archetypes, let me know if you come up with cool names for these feminine archetypes in the comments below. This is where my idea was unfinished. I wanted to come up with cool names like the goddess, the witch, the sorceress, all these different names of feminine archetypes to label each of these archetypes, but I couldn't. So let me know if you come up with any in the comments below. And here are the 12 divine feminine archetypes, as well as how it changes at the end. I'll tell you based on the house it's in. So if you have a Venus in Aries, your feminine energy is most embraced when you are doing things boldly. Now, there is still a level of action because this is a naturally more masculine. Side note, I cannot remember which zodiac signs are feminine and masculine, but I'm going to do my best. And I'm going to also just give my own input on which I see as more just general masculine energy. But if you have a Venus in Aries, you're naturally more masculine energy tendency, in the sense of Aries is the god of war, and Aries is all about, as an archetype in the zodiac, action. So if you have a Venus in Aries, not only is your love language to do new things, but you feel that you are in your feminine energy when you try new things. You are, simply put, an initiator. And so if you're finding yourself burnt out, overstimulated, exhausted, chances are you need to put yourself into new situations. You need to allow yourself to be open and receptive to the information around you so you can share it back to the world in whatever impulsive way you find is fulfilling. Now, Aries is about aggression, and I'm definitely not saying that you should be aggressive if you have a Venus in Aries in order to embrace your divine feminine archetype. But there is a level of truth in that you're supposed to allow yourself to flow on impulse. Allow yourself to allow this passionate, chaotic energy to flow through you. Your divine feminine energy as a Venus in Aries is much less tame than the stereotypical. You want to be wild and new and crazy, dig your toes into, or put your, I don't even know how to say the phrase, like put yourself into new things. Dig your toes in the dirt, get your hands dirty. You want to be out there. You want to be chaos, so to say. So allow yourself to act on impulse and try new things. And depending on what house your Venus in Aries is in, will change what area of life you should embrace this impulse. If you have a Venus in Aries in 6th house, make sure you're doing this in your day-to-day life. If it's in your 4th house, be so with your home. Maybe it's changing homes. If it's in your 9th house, make sure you're being like this with your travels and speaking your philosophy. Overall, the Venus in Aries archetype is all about, I would say chaos feels like the right word here. I feel like chaos sounds negative, but it's very much about untamed. Very much the Venus in Aries is the untamed woman archetype. If you have a Venus in Taurus, though, then you are someone much more so who has the stereotypical divine feminine energy archetype, which is me. Because this seems divine feminine with a hoodie and bucket hat that looks like it got sprayed by a dragon fruit or something. The point is, Venus in Taurus embraces the divine feminine by connecting to their senses and enjoying the finer things in life. In a love language sense, Venus in Taurus loves home-cooked meals, great wine, having a massage, wearing the finest clothing that feels just so soft and gentle, and surrounding themselves in comfort. And so if you have a Venus in Taurus, you're going to find that you embrace your divine feminine energy best by standing strong in your self-worth and surrounding yourself with things that make you feel indulgent and comfortable. So whereas the Venus in Aries is more so going to embrace their feminine energy by doing new things, Venus in Taurus just needs to more so indulge and be comfortable. All from a place, though, of self-worth, because the gift of the Venus in Taurus, is, when embraced, is that they have unshaking self-worth. These people are very connected to their physical body, so connecting with your physical body, whether that's through sensory experiences or if that is through adoring, why can't I say this word? Decorating your physical body in the finest clothes and jewelry is what's going to fulfill you. The Venus in Taurus divine feminine archetype is very much the luxurious. I was trying to come up with a word there for it, a title, because I said I didn't have titles, but I can't think of one. It's the goddess, so to say. Let's go with that. Now, every divine feminine archetype in its own sense is its own power, but maybe, what if we go with the queen or the regal, something like that. That's what I think of with the Venus in Taurus. But at the same time, Taurus is more so about homely vibes. So maybe that's a better name for the Libra one, which I'll get to in a little bit. Let's go with, for now, for Taurus, is just the indulgent or whatever. Moving on, we don't have names. Venus in Gemini is finds that they embrace their feminine energy through learning. Venus, when applied in the sign of Gemini, is your love language is intellectual connection, but also you find that you have a strong curiosity. Very similar to Venus and Aries, these people want to do new things, but the focus for Aries is on doing, whereas Gemini is about learning. They want to take in new data. And so if you're a Venus in Gemini, your divine feminine archetype is a lot about being absorbed in the details of the world around you, taking in new information, observing new things, learning new things, reading new things. You are the people who want to create with your hands. So getting into the creative zone, building something, writing something, reading something, that is really the epitome of your divine feminine archetype. You are someone who wants to learn. You're someone who wants to grow. I kind of think like with this right now, when I'm saying this, I can't help but picture Belle from Beauty and the Beast. That seems like very much divine feminine energy for Venus in Gemini. If you're a woman with this, you need to get into your zone and learn and grow and use your hands to create or build or learn something or write something or do poetry. Knowledge is your flow for you. And if it's depending on the sign it's in, the house it's in, will change where in your life you want to embrace that. If you have a 10th house Gemini Venus, you want to be knowledgeable and learn and create and be in your feminine energy in your career. If you want to learn more about the houses and how that overlaps with your divine feminine archetype, book a reading. I would love to talk about this more and figure out your own archetype name. But yeah, I would say Venus in Gemini, I can't help but think of like Beauty and the Beast now with all of her books and her knowledge, and she's just curious and wants to learn, but also is sharing her information, teaching the Beast how to be more of a human. And that is so much Venus in Gemini's divine feminine archetype energy. If you're Venus in Cancer, you are the ultimate mother archetype. Let's just call this one the mother or the nurturer, because that is very simply what it is. Cancer wants to care for others and they want to be cared for. And so they do this by creating emotional space for others and themselves. If you are a Venus in Cancer, your divine feminine archetype energy is activated by connecting to your emotions and your own emotional sensitivity, to move on the basis of your feelings, to really just spend time in your feelings, whether that, this is what happens whenever I drink tea or anything while I'm filming. So if you have a Venus in Cancer, it's really just about embracing the emotions anywhere you go, moving on the basis of feeling. This is, of anything, one of the most feminine archetypes because it's in a water sign. It's the planet of Venus, the planet of love and feminine energy, is in Cancer, feminine energy. Along with that, Venus in Taurus is also, because Venus rules over Taurus and Libra. So these are also very strong feminine energies as well, along with Cancer. Cancer is all about nurturing other people. And so making time to feel your own emotions and nurture the emotions of those around you is how you get into your feminine flow. It's very important to you that you have time and people around to nurture. You want to be nurturing something, whether that's people or plants or animals or your own emotions. You need to nurture something. And so nurturing something gets you into your flow. And depending on the house it's in is where in your life or how often in your life you need to do this. If you have a Venus in Leo, you are very much the life of the party, divine feminine energy. You are the entertainer, the person center stage, the girl who, okay, so what comes to mind, weird, my brain does the weirdest things, but what comes to mind when I think of Venus and Leo energy, almost, even though doesn't seem too accurate, I'm just trying to find what is in any sort of musical where the girl's standing center stage. So like Greatest Showman, that chick who's like the really good singer, or like High School Musical, Sharpay, you know. Divine feminine energy for the Venus and Leo is about taking center stage and letting themselves be seen. And that might not be in the musical sense. For you, it could be more leadership role. Leo really does seem to be a balance of feminine and masculine energy because they represent both love and strength. And not to say women aren't strong, but strength in excess ends up being more of a masculine trait. And it, after all, is the lion, which the lion and the lioness are both very powerful beings. I was getting tired of this angle and I wanted to sit up more, but I didn't want to be sliding off camera. And now it's bouncing. Venus in Leo is about embracing your divine feminine energy, is about leading with passion, doing things you're passionate about, leading from a place energetically of strength, courage, and love. Yes, you do love being center stage, most likely, especially in your relationships. If you have a Venus in Leo, you like to be and feel like the center of attention in your relationship. You want to feel important. But if you have a Venus in Leo, your divine feminine energy is about taking center stage and being in the spotlight to inspire others. Being center stage is not always a negative thing. After all, we've had leaders stand on podiums and lead us forward with their inspiring speeches. That's just a common theme for movies. That's what we see in life. So Venus and Leo energy is about using your voice, using your words to lead the way forward. And so when you get to speak from a place of love and courage and strength, and when you get to live a playful life, when you get to have fun, that is the most feminine energy for you. So maybe you're someone who does like the party a little more. You like going out on Saturday night. That could be your feminine energy as well. But in the end, it's about embracing courage, embracing love, and embracing leadership, being center stage. I had to say it one more time because that's really what this archetype is about as a divine feminine archetype. If you are a Venus in Virgo, this is very similar energy to Venus in Cancer. However, not the same, because both have a focus on serving others. However, if you're a Venus in Virgo, you could care probably less about making people feel emotionally heard, and instead you want to serve them. These people are the ones who are acts of service love language to the fullest. And so if you have a Venus in Virgo, your archetype is really about being the giver of services. Maybe you like to be on the more creative side, similar to Venus in Gemini, and you like to create with your hands. Maybe it's more so for you about serving others with literal services, doing laundry for someone, picking up their groceries, taking their kid to school. Doing these acts of service is what makes you feel the most in your feminine energy. It could also have to do a little bit with punctuality with words, because Venus is ruled by Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and different planet, but when applied to Venus, it may mean that words are important to you. Speaking in appreciation of your partner or appreciation of others makes you feel in your feminine energy. And so you are here to serve and embrace your feminine energy by doing so. I know my descriptions are getting shorter as I go, but I know this video is getting long. So if you are a Venus in Libra, then you're also one of the highest of divine feminine archetypes because Venus rules over Libra. This is more so the princess, the queen, the regal sort of archetype, because Libra is very similar to Taurus, where they enjoy nice things, but Libra wants the finest of things. Taurus is fine with a home-baked pie, whereas Libra wants the finest expensive jewelry. And so it's very important, I see, for Venus and Libra's qualities to surround themselves with nice things. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be 24 karat gold or nice diamonds. It can be, and you might find that you have the desire for it, but it could be just things that feel nice and look nice. These people crave spatial and physical and appearance harmony. These people want to look and be the best to some degree. So if you have a Venus in Libra, the best way for you to embrace your divine feminine energy is through making yourself appear beautiful, because this is going to find very deep satisfaction for you, and also connecting with people. You want to, in short, be seen as the best, but from a state of neutrality. So you probably love the idea of dressing up, going to a party, socializing with others, and just connecting, seeing what's up, seeing what's out there. Being social to you and being neutral is very feminine for you. It's your divine feminine energy. And so these people, at their best, probably don't want to make decisions. They want to be a peacemaker. When you're in your feminine energy, it's probably important for you that you feel like you have a partner or people around you who can make the decisions, because the second you have to make the decisions, you feel like you're pulled out of your feminine energy, because Venus in Libra does not want to have to make all of the decisions. They just want to mediate the conflicts. If you have a Venus in Scorpio, you are, like I talked about at the beginning, like the seductress, the sorcerer, or whatever. You are this very deep energy. You are mysterious and you draw with other people in. Venus in Scorpio, as a divine feminine energy, finds that they are in their flow through alchemizing themselves, which is self-transformation journey, recreating yourself, reinventing yourself, understanding your wounds. Self-discovery and self-healing is very important to the Venus in Scorpio. And if not, these people can play it out as more so, as always, when we talk about Scorpio energy, manipulative energy. You probably love every now and then going to the bar and seducing other people only to leave them hanging. You like to just see what you're capable of, and you're curious to see if you can get inside other people's heads. This is the investigator, after all. So if you're a Venus in Scorpio, your divine feminine energy is best embraced when you're investigating yourself and investigating others on a basis of feeling good, on feeling in alignment with your emotions. If you are a Venus in Sagittarius, the adventure for you is what is fulfilling. You want to get out there, seek meaning. You find that you embrace your feminine energy when you try novel things and step out of your comfort zone. Very similar to Aries, Venus, except with this, you're less impulsive and more so about, though, seeking the novelty, planning out a grander idea, even just pondering a new idea or doing a new thing without even actually doing it. You are fulfilling your feminine energy. The Venus in Sagittarius is the nomad, the wanderer. These are the people who might want to quite literally go wandering in the woods. Getting into nature is probably really important for Venus in Sagittarius. If you are a Venus in Capricorn, then you are the epitome, I would say, of girl boss energy that we see so often nowadays in society, where your divine feminine energy is embraced by being an authority. You want to be the best. Very similar to Libra. I'll say again, I know I'm using the word the best again. Libra Venus energy is more so about their appearance and seeming calm and neutral. And again, they don't want to have to make decisions, whereas Capricorn wants to be an assertive, masculine leader to some degree. And so if you have a Venus in Capricorn, you want to be seen through your career. You embrace your feminine energy by pursuing goals, which is, I know sounds counterintuitive still, but what if you can embrace receptive energy and intuitive energy on your pursuit to goals? That is the epitome of Venus and Capricorn energy. You may find that you put a lot of value into your career path choices. These people with a Venus and Capricorn probably won't settle for a mundane career. If you are a Venus and Aquarius, then your unique divine feminine archetype is about being humanitarian. This is a very interesting one in my head because Venus is naturally more so about pleasure and physical, whereas this Venus in Aquarius finds pleasure in not being so attached to their world. They are more so about, I would call it like the wise sage archetype more, where they want to help others make an impact. That's probably what the role that these women want to take on is. They want to help others lead their way forward. They want to make an impact, be a part of their community, help others lead the way by being the wise person in their community. So if you are a Venus in Aquarius, it's probably important for you to embrace your divine feminine energy, to remain neutral and detached to your life, and focus on making a greater impact, doing something greater than yourself. And this could change slightly depending on what house it's in. And finally, if you're a Venus in Pisces, you are a sensitive, loving little soul who has unconditional love for everyone, even when it hurts them. I know, I came straight out of the gate with that one, a little bit aggressive on the hardest parts of Venus and Pisces, but I just wanted to relate with you guys because I'm sure you hear that and go, yep, that's me. And with the Venus in Pisces archetype, which is a very beautiful thing to have the highest frequency of love here, your divine feminine archetype is best embraced when you are tapping into the energy frequency of love. These people, similar to Sagittarius energies, as I explained, they want to get lost in the woods. They want to be in their heads. These people want to see that there's something deeper to life. And so having a spiritual practice, connecting with energy and frequency, staying in a state of unconditional love, no matter what, without attachment, is probably the best thing for you. These people are probably the lovers of nature or lovers of the world. If anything, they remain more detached in love because they have a love for anything. They'd rather just stay less personal to maintain their state of love. These are the type of people who maybe will just go live in the woods to go surround themselves with deers and, like picture that archetype actually, like the crazy old woman or witch who lives in the woods and is just connected with all the animals. Or even like, I know it's crazy that I haven't seen Snow White. I'm young, I know, don't hate on me, but same as like that or Sleeping Beauty, how they're just in the woods and all the animals love them. That's very much how I picture Venus and Pisces energy. They're just one with the world and they want to love it all. They want to stay in a state of love and imagination, seeing the beauty of life. So if you have this placement, the best way for you to embrace your divine feminine archetype is by getting lost in your thoughts, getting lost in the world, just getting to be in a state of unconditional love through meditation, walking, exploration, thought, creativity, looking at the concepts rather than trying to love individuals. So that is a really quick overview of all the divine feminine archetypes. If you liked this video and you liked this theory, let me know in the comments below, as well as let me know if you came up with names for your own divine feminine archetypes. I cannot believe I made a 30-minute video when I said I was doing a quick film session, but it's okay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. While you're down there, if you're wanting to understand more about your divine feminine archetype, as well as the rest of your chart, be sure to book a 1-hour birth chart reading with me in the link in the description below, where we dive into any and everything. I would love to talk with you more about this divine feminine energy, especially if you're a woman who feels like you're struggling to be a human doing way too much and you instead want to be more of a human being again. And if you want to seek a sense of meaning and purpose in your life, these readings are for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and stay tuned for more videos breaking down the stars. Once again, my name's Isabelle, and from my heart to yours, namaste.